Welcome back to Love and Junk. I'm Laura.
I'm John.
We are on location in beautiful Colorado.
Yeah.
We have a little story to tell you. I don't know that I can tell much of this story. I mean, I can tell you a little bit, but John will have to probably do most of the storytelling. But we are on vacation. We took a wedding moon, as we keep calling it, to get married and have our honeymoon.
Yep.
And so we are in Colorado. One of the things we wanted to do, well, the whole time we want to do outdoorsy stuff. See nature, see mountains, beautiful things.
Yeah. Things we can't see in Iowa.
Right. So John had found the Royal Gorge.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've probably seen it a lot in like different pictures and stuff. It's just kind of bridge that goes over this very deep gorge, and at the bottom there's
Very, very, very deep gorge.
yeah, and at the bottom is the Arkansas River, and they do a lot of like whitewater rafting and stuff on the river. And
There's train tracks in the bottom. Here's what it reminds me of, and I'm not exaggerating even a little bit. You know, in Bugs Bunny, when like
Wile E.
Wile
Coyote.
E. Coyote, there's that huge, canyons, and you see like way, and then it's like a speck at the bottom. That's exactly what this place was like. When you are on the bridge and you look down to the water, it looks like a painting. You can see whitecaps, but you can't see water moving.
Yeah. So we'll upload a video of some of that so that you can see it. But this is story time because
Right.
we had an incident.
Leading up to this, we didn't have the greatest week, and there's another story time that we'll link maybe to this one where we had no power for 6 days leading up to our trip. So because of no power, there was a lot of heat exhaustion, a lot of exhaustion from not being able to sleep because
Mentally
it was hot.
exhaustion or mentally
Stress.
exhausted.
Yeah. And
Stress.
I'm an asthmatic, and when you have no power, you have no air conditioning, and that creates issues if it's humid. So we had that going into it. And so the first day of our trip was all travel.
Yep.
No incidents. We stayed in a hotel. It felt great to have power and air conditioning. We plugged in everything, turned on everything, soaked it all up, got our money's worth. Day
Yep.
2, we had another drive, and we stopped at this gorge, and there's gondolas you can take across, or there's a bridge you can walk across.
And they did zip lining and stuff like that too.
Yeah, do they do bungee jumping?
I don't know.
Helicopters fly over this place. It's one of those things. So we paid $30 a person to walk across the bridge. You can do the bridge and the gondola and a couple
Yeah,
of
there were
things.
some things that were included in that, but mainly we just wanted to go across it. Well, mainly I wanted to go across the bridge.
Yeah, and I was humoring him. I am not afraid of heights.
I
at all.
am.
Like when I go to the Willis Tower or Sears Tower, if you're old school like we are, I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of being up high and looking down. I'm not afraid of... I'm afraid of a lot of things, but I'm not afraid of heights.
I hate heights. Like,
So I couldn't believe that he wanted to do this after
Yeah.
I saw how high up it was. But anyway.
so this was our first day really in Colorado. The day before was a travel day. We ended up staying overnight, and then we drove another about 4 hours or so to get to the Royal
Yeah.
Gorge. We drove through Denver. We got there.
It was hot as crap outside too.
Right. So we hadn't even gotten to our first Airbnb yet. But because we couldn't check in till 4, we were like, let's see what we could do.
Kill some time.
I decided, let's do the Royal Gorge. So yeah, we get there, and what did you think about the bridge? When your initial reaction when we started walking across it?
It's very long. It's longer than you would think it is. It's not one of those, I mean, I don't know how many feet wide across it is. Maybe we'll look it up and put it in the description. It's longer than I expected. It looked very sturdy. It wasn't one of those when you first told me
Yeah.
about it, I thought it was like 2 ropes and you're walking on little planks of wood. And I said, no, before I say I'm spending $30 to do this, I want to see it.
No.
When you stand and you look at it, it looks like the kind of bridge that people drive over.
Yeah,
But when you get to it, you have to come down this hill and you get to the bridge, metal construction, there's big cables, wood planks on the bottom. And I was okay. I wasn't afraid. Were you afraid
No.
when we started? And then we started walking, and I probably took 10 steps before I started feeling something.
You think so?
You think it was longer than that?
I thought they had on there like the state flags, all down there, all 50 states. So they want you to find your state, take your pictures, and hashtag them and everything.
Stupid Iowa was in the middle.
Yeah. So I really noticed it when we got towards the middle, and man, that thing was
Well,
moving.
I'm telling you, I noticed it, and I probably didn't say anything to
Yeah.
you because I also have vertigo. So there's that kind of thing. I'm not afraid of heights, but I do tend to get motion sick, sometimes even in the car.
Yeah.
And when we got out there, I'm not kidding, I was probably shaking like that.
That thing was bobbing and weaving all over the place.
And the floor was wood planks, and you'd step on one and it'd pop up a little bit, or
It'd move, or you'd see like gaps in it and everything. And I was fine initially. I didn't pay attention to any of that stuff. And yeah, it moved and stuff, but it didn't like creep me out. But boy, when Laura got triggered, that kind of triggered me too. And then I was like looking down, and you'd see the gaps in there and how far it was below. And then all of a sudden, because of my problem with heights, like my stomach kind of.
Well, the other thing, John was filming. So I think he was kind of focusing
Oh, yeah.
on that, on getting shots and being able to see and whatever. I was focusing on not dying. There's little kids running across it. There's people on golf carts driving across it. And meanwhile, I'm like along the side. I was terrified.
We got out there, we got some pictures. We tried to get the Iowa flag and stuff behind there. We got some pictures, we got a little bit of film, and Laura was holding it together pretty good, and then she wasn't.
Yeah. First thing, I don't know the first thing you noticed, but I started crying. I was so freaked out, and I didn't want to be. But it wasn't just being afraid. I was having physical symptoms, and I was like,
She had a full-on panic attack.
yeah. Yeah.
She thought she was having a heart attack.
Yeah. I had such bad pains in my chest. And like I said, I looked at my hand and I was like shaking, like quaking.
Yeah.
And so I felt that in my legs. And so the thing is moving, the wooden planks are moving, and my legs are bouncing like that. It was horrible.
Yeah, and I was trying to, like, let's get off of this thing then. Let's go back. Let's turn around.
Which, by the way, we're in the middle of
Yeah.
the. So we were like, crap, which way do we go?
Yeah. It's, we started walking, and it was okay, but yeah, she was still panicking and everything.
And I'm hanging on to the side.
Like, let's get back. And so we'd walk a little bit and then kind of stop and take a little break. Then we'd walk a little bit, stop, take a little break. When we got towards the end or the beginning, whatever,
The
ground,
edge of
solid,
the- yeah.
solid ground, she got worse, like a lot worse. I saw on her face, it looked like when she had her hands up that she had gouged herself with her fingernail, but it was a hive.
Yeah, I had a
Just
couple
getting
of them, and
hives.
I've done that before when I get really upset or or sometimes it's a physical reaction. But yeah,
It was scary. And so we got to the end, and then like she took a seat and everything, but the sun was so freaking hot and so just like right on you.
there was no shade.
No shade
anywhere.
whatsoever. And she's like feeling like she's going to vomit. She's feeling like she's going to pass out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? I just kept thinking, if I could get her to the building and get her in, then we could get out of the sun. We can be a little bit cooler.
Get a drink.
Sit down somewhere and just, kind of recover and everything.
But to get back to the building, you have to go up that big hill that I told you we had to go down to get to the bridge.
Yeah, and so we did make it to the top of the hill.
But but before getting to the top of the hill, I kept stopping. There was a rock ledge.
Yeah.
And I was leaning on it, and I was just like, I can't, I'm having a heart attack. I'm gonna pass out. I remember
I'm gonna throw
just
up.
saying,
I'm gonna pass out. I'm having a heart attack.
Yeah. Over and over and over again. And then we got to a part where that wall was short and you could sit on it, but it's made of quartz and cement. And because of the sun, I sat down and I was like, I really felt like woozy and everything, and I felt like I was gonna pass out. I'm like, I'm gonna crack my head open on this, or it's gonna be too hot. I can't lay down on it. There wasn't a shade tree anywhere. There was nothing.
Yeah. So we got up. I saw some restrooms there and started heading that way. I figured if we could get her in a restroom and like splash some cold water on her face and kind of cool down and calm down, that would be good. But as soon as we got there, there was a bench outside, and she had to sit down again, and then basically passed out. She just kept saying, "I'm going to pass out. I'm going to pass out. I'm going to pass out." And then
So I did.
one of the workers there was like backing up in their golf cart and was like, "Hey, does she need help?" And I was like, "Yes."
I may not have needed help, but you did, huh?
Yeah, we needed help. And so they had like park rangers there. And this one, he was so helpful. He came and, we walked Laura down into the room.
I remember him talking to me, but I don't remember I think he was asking me if I could get up or if I thought I could get to, is that what he was saying to me?
Yeah. And we each took an arm and kind of helped and went down into their office, and it was like cooler there. And
I sat in one of those chairs that they had, like if you're giving blood, that has so it was very comfortable. The air, they gave me water, and I started feeling better.
Right.
Pretty quickly. I mean, I was out.
It was scary. It was very scary. And, hindsight looking back, like we were not hydrated. We traveled and we just didn't drink that much. Mm-hmm. And we should have.
We hadn't slept in a week because we didn't have power. There
was the heat, the sun bearing down, but then also the altitude. We were, probably 9,000 feet or something like that, or close to it. And, when you go to areas that are higher altitude, it takes a few days for you to get used to it and your lungs to get used to it. Otherwise, you're just going to be like huffing and puffing and feeling like you're not getting enough.
Plus I have asthma.
Yeah. You're feeling like you're not getting enough oxygen. And then, all of those factors combined. And it was almost a trip to the hospital at the very beginning of our
I remember
vacation.
I was panting. And John kept telling me I could hear him. He was trying to hold my hand. And it's like I was aware that he was trying to help me, but it's like I couldn't receive it. I was like, I'm going to fall. I'm going to puke. I couldn't like receive anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was nothing all I wanted to do was like lay down.
Yeah. She pulled through, thank God. And, we had the help of those rangers. And, I don't know what we would have done if it wasn't for that because, she was really in bad shape.
Mm-hmm. Well, my face was beet red. And I don't mean like sunburn. I mean...
It was red.
Tomato red. And my oxygen level was a little bit low when I sat down, but it came up right away. But what never increased... what do I want to say? It recovered a little bit, but never got well enough was my heart rate. My heart rate was really elevated, and my blood pressure was really elevated.
Yeah.
So.
And she didn't feel good the whole rest of the night. We eventually finally got to our first Airbnb here, and we just kind of relaxed and laid in bed and stuff. So.
Yeah. So that was the beginning of our trip.
So if you're going to a place like Colorado where things are high altitude and it's hot, make sure you hydrate, make sure you take the time to acclimatize to your situation.
And not even high altitude. If you're a farmer
Yeah.
or you're out gardening or you're walking your dog or whatever and it's hot, make sure you hydrate. I am definitely going to be more mindful of that. Although I say that, but
Right.
I don't think if I had a bottle of water before then, I don't think it may have helped, but I had so many things going on. It was panic, it was asthma, it was
Stress from the past week.
it was sleep deprivation, it was altitude, it was the perfect storm.
Yeah, it was all kinds of stuff. But
Thank
Thank
you
God.
to those wonderful park rangers. They took really good
yeah,
care of me, and it didn't set us back. We were there maybe an hour. Here's the thing. The time I spent getting medical attention is time we weren't walking across the bridge. So it probably didn't take us any longer
Yeah.
for me to about die there.
right. But thank God she's okay.
Yeah, it was scary. John was really scared. So we have a vlog about that, and you'll have to check out the footage and let us know in the comments if you would have walked across that or not.
Right.
I should have trusted my instincts too, because right away I had a feeling like I didn't think I'd be afraid, or I didn't think that would happen, but I had an instinct of I don't think that's something I'd really enjoy.
I have a feeling like all the adventure stuff I wanted to do during this is getting shut down.
He says that, but I'm a pretty good sport. I always want
Oh, yeah.
him to go fishing, and I love to like sit outside and be outdoorsy. We're gonna do some magnet fishing on this trip,
Yeah.
but I think we'll stay I think we'll stay away from out in direct sun and direct heat, or like hiking. I don't think we're gonna be doing a bunch of that kind of thing. We're
Right.
gonna just low key.
Yeah. It's like in the 90s right here, but where we're going next and where we're going to spend the majority of our time and get married is going to be in the 70s during the day, and then at night it's going to be like in the 50s. So that'll take care of the heat problem, I think.
Yeah, that'll be good. So
Yeah.
anyway, I have posted stuff on Instagram, and so we thought we would follow up with a little video of what actually did happen. So, that's all we have really for
That's it,
today.
guys. Yeah.
All right, make sure you're subscribed, like I said. Please give this video a big thumbs up.
And hit the little bell. Ding.
Yeah. Hit the little bell
Ding.
so you can be notified when our next videos do go up.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.